What's going on, my friends? I'm getting at it today, getting some music down here. That we're doing here. You know, I've talked in the past, as soon as I can get, excuse me, itch. As soon as I can get a point to where I can learn OBS and get a better way of walking through what I want to do. I'm going to do a video on packaging tracks and how to back your stuff up. And it's really important. Maybe I just haven't seen it, but I ain't seen a lot of videos and people really truly telling you how to package your tracks and do the stuff to back it up when you're doing with publishers and how to organize it in the files. Now, currently, I have my tracks backed up in file folders for each publisher, but what I'm going to do is I've got to go back, and it's going to take me a while, but you guys starting out, I'm telling you, this is important to do this. You got a file folder for all your sessions and your audio for each publisher and the name of the track. It's important you do that. Then I would take those and I would put them in a separate genre under that publisher. I think it's very important that you do that. Just so you know what you're doing per genre and stuff to help, oh, it was a drum, tension track, or it was a rock track, but it's going to lead to something else that's going to be very helpful here. Now, when you package your tracks, it's probably important to have a file, maybe one file in your, with each publisher that has just a file of MP3s that you can just go to and just, here's the MP3 for it, if you need it. But have alt mixes and everything you need. The reason you want to do that is make sure you have all your alt mixes and everything you need, and your stems, your track outs, in case your session doesn't work. I mean, there's some programs that, I use that I render the stuff to audio because you just don't know if they're going to quit working or you're going to quit using it. It's going to be obsolete. Listen, with technology the way it's going, things are obsolete. They really are. They're obsolete. I think I'd heard about it some time ago, but it wasn't a lot of light shed on it. And in that road rally for taxing last week, there was a guy, Keith LeBrant, I think is his name. I hope it's Keith, but he's a composer, and he did an amazing job, and it's so cheap. I went and got it anyway, because I think it's going to help me. It's going to take me a while to go back. I've got to go to each track and enter all this stuff. But he created something called Composer Catalog. It's composercatalog.com. You may have heard of this. I'm downloaded the trial, and I entered a track and a lot of stuff, and I just went in and got it. I got a discount on it. I think it was like $69 because of the road rally. But there was a code given, I guess, last week. But it's $79. And if you're a spreadsheet, like you have your own method of a spreadsheet and you want to go that way, go knock yourself out. I mean, excuse me. That's time I get on here. It's up to me. But, that's your preference. Really, that is your preference, solely. But there is a feature in Composer Cloud where you can import CSV files. And if you've got, like if you go through and all the information that's given, if you've got the information, it may tell you, how do you want to import this? It may, I don't know. I mean, I'm just going to enter everything individually, but it does have that feature where you can import that, and it may separate it and recognize the information and put it in its own place. But it's so cool, and I encourage you to go watch the breakdown video. And I could tell you what's all in it, but the video is going to show you exactly what you need. It's so cool. And starting out, I think it's something I highly recommend, because if you get in a point where you're doing tracks, and let's say you've got a tracks with these publishers and you forgot whether it's exclusive or not exclusive, when you enter the track, you're like, okay, that's exclusive. We can't send it anywhere else. If you have a question about a track and you've entered all your information, you enter your keywords. It's exclusive, not exclusive, what publisher. And in there, you put profiles for writers that you write with. There's profiles for the publishers. You can do track profiles. So in other words, like certain genres like tension or drama or dramedy or rock. Do an initial profile for it. So when you enter the track name, you hit that profile, it'll put most of the stuff in, but you can quickly go and edit it, and it saves you a lot of time to do that, and I think it's really cool. And then there's a place where you can upload your audio. You can do all your alt mixes in one. This is where I think the save space on your hard drive and stuff is just do an MP3 of the main mix. That's all you need to do, because it'll ask you, is this a main mix? And when you upload it again, it'll ask you, is this no? What is it? You specify, and it will file it accordingly. And you can do whatever you want to do. I think this software is amazing. And then you can back up your data. So he's having some quirks with Mac a little bit right now because of all this stuff with the new operating systems. But he'll get through that. He's working. He talked about that. It's like when I was using it here, it's trying to get out of it. Something's going a little weird. Maybe I had to reboot it. Went against my own rule. Like everything in Mac you install, you got to reboot the computer. So that may have been what that was. I don't know. But I went ahead and got it because it's going to take me a while. I'm writing down the list of tracks for every publisher I've got. I mean, to give you an idea, I've got 1,200 pieces. I've got 1,200 tracks out there. Pieces of music, probably well over a couple of grand or more. But just 1,200 tracks I've got out there. So I got some work to do. It's going to take me a while, so a little bit each day. But I've got a catalog of some of these publishers. Like one of them in particular I've expressed concern about was Jingle Punks. They're owned by Anthem Music. Anthem was Olay Music. They just rebranded. And I think in time they may be consolidating, doing some changes. But I think the mystery is solved. I think Jingle Punks just taking certain genres because I sent them a couple of rock tracks and they took them. I was like, okay, it's been verse 2 in a year. I've just been busy with other publishers, but I'm ready to at least get them some tracks a year. So Jingle Punks has gotten kind of weird here lately, but I think Anthem is kind of tightened the reins a little bit on that. And it's, to some degree, I think it's good they do that because it was getting like the Wild Wild West over there in Jingle Punks for some of these guys, and I don't blame them. But COVID didn't help matters either. So, but it's called Composer Catalog. You can go to composercatalog.com. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised if you want to organize your catalog, especially if you're doing with a lot of co-writers. And you can write their information, and you can write all their PRO information. You have it in there. Under each track, it tells you can do the PRO, and then the registration number, which is your ISWC number, I believe. I think it's one thing they go by that, or just there's two numbers. But the ISWC, I think, is the one of the most common they ask you for. Either one. You got the track ID number or the ISWC, which is the registration number that's probably most commonly asked for. I think you're going to be okay either way on that deal. But just as long as you have that information. And it's a cool thing to bring up and go, refer to and go, oh, okay, I got it, you know. And just the key here is to make sure everything's organized and backed up, because the more you write tracks, you got to have some organization here. It is key. I can't stress enough. And I'm not the be-all, end-all. I'm not going to sit here and be a hypocrite and go, oh, because I'm organized. You know, now, hell, not like, you know, I should be. But I am in a sense where I've got everything in file folders for publishers, and I know what's what. In my head, out of the 12 publishers that I have contracts with, 12 or 13, I know who's exclusive, not exclusive. However, there may come a time where there's a track has a different deal within that publisher, and they may go, we just want these non-exclusive. You can do everyone's. We have a company that's just looking for some non-exclusive stuff. What do you have? That's happened before. It's rare, but it's happened. I've had a publisher ask for that stuff. One important thing is a lot of these people that are with Taxi, that they'll send that stuff, and that's why I've been kind of leery about them holding my music hostage, but in a sense that I may send some music in there this year and give it another try just to build new contacts, is, you know, it takes so long if you get a forward. You don't even know if the publisher's ever going to contact you. I've had a buddy of mine I may have mentioned this. A buddy of mine had a track. He was in a band back in the 80s and the 90s, and they were an 80s type band. And he submitted the track there through Taxi about 4 or 5 years ago or more, I'd say. And just last year, year and a half ago, they contacted him. Hey, man, we had this track from a few years back ago. And he's like, gosh. He goes, you don't mind if we use it? Is it committed to anybody? No. I mean, sure, go for it. And they licensed it in that show, Young Sheldon. But what they did is they took the audio and had some old VHS tape of them playing and sent them that. And they superimposed it on the TV in the show with a little audio in the background. Like the kids were sitting there watching an 80s rock band. It was so cool. They got paid great money for that, by the way. Really good money for that. But that's what I'm talking about. So kind of hopefully one day they'll have a protocol of saying what they didn't take and they need to let these artists know, you know. But what, you know, if 6 months goes by and they haven't contacted you, you can take it somewhere else. If they email you, just say, listen, I'm sorry, so sorry. As much as I wanted you to have that track, I committed with another publisher. Listen, those guys would understand. They waited 6 months before they contacted you, you know, and that's where I think they can't get mad at you for that. They don't expect you to sit there and you're holding your music hostage, you know. They're not intentionally doing it, but these guys take in so much music. And according to Taxi, it's like it's hard for all these tracks that they harvest in to email each person and go, they didn't take your track. You can do what you want with it. It was forwarded, but they didn't take it. That's the latest reason why Michael Lasco had stated last week when someone asked the question again. Listen, we harvest in a lot of music, and I bet they do. I don't know how many members they have, you know, but to me, I'm just not big on pay for play, and it makes me leery of it. I did it years ago and tried it, and it just wasn't working for me, but I was in a different place musically. So I'm going to try it this coming year. I'm going to see if I can send some stuff. There's a lot of things I have big strengths on, a lot more confidence in than I've had ever in my career. And, you know, but I'll tell you what's helped me most is just working on what I'm the best at, my strengths the most. And I've learned that my music is a voice no matter what. I've said that a million times. You don't have to say much. Just introduce yourself professionally in an email and properly. And say, listen, I think this would be great in your library. I'd love to send you this music. You know, thank you so much for your time, consideration, respectfully, da-da-da-da. But your music is your voice. That's all that matters. You know, when that music is done right, it's going to speak for you. It really is. So, but the point of today's thought is to make sure you're organized. And I think this is going to be a good tool, and I'm going to try it. For $69, I was like, why not? It can't hurt. It's got everything you need, and I can back the database up on my hard drive where my sessions are, and everything is in one place, one hard drive. So we can do that. Anyway, I'm going to hop off. I wanted to share that here real quick, and I'll let you know as time goes on how it's going. I've got a lot of work to do on that. In the middle of all the music I have to do, I'm going to have to devote some time each week getting these songs into this database. It's going to take some work. But the thing is I need to genre-specific a lot of this stuff, because years ago I wrote, like, for my first publisher I signed was Jingle Punks. And, well, back when I didn't really know what I was doing, I was just shooting music in there. And I think they were tagging the genre. I was doing the best I can. And I was writing genres of music I didn't know I was writing. And some of that stuff got placed. Like, for instance, I was writing dramedy tracks, and I didn't even know it was dramedy. I was like, I need to learn how to do dramedy. I'm like, what? And it dawned on me, I reverted back to a few placements over the years. I'm like, that's dramedy. And I was doing it, and I didn't even know I was doing it. So you got to think about what you're doing, guys. You know, if you're unsure, there's some Facebook groups out there with a lot of amazing talent that can help you tag that to what genre it may be. They can help you narrow that down. They really can. There's some guys in some of those groups that are really cool. Just don't get on there being a jerk and stuff like that, because there's plenty of that already in these Facebook groups, and some of these people need to chill out. Just relax and chill out. You know, you may know more than somebody else, but quit trying to be the be-all, end-all. It's not important. It doesn't matter. Life's too short. I'm not the be-all, end-all, and I'm not going to, trust me, I'm not going to be one teaching a course, because I don't have time for it. And I'm not comfortable with that, because I get on here basically talking about what works for me and helps me, and I feel like passing it on, and I don't mind doing that. Because, yes, there is a lot of misinformation out there, and I can only hope that anything I say isn't misinformation, because if it is, feel free to correct me. I'm always willing to learn something. Believe it. I'll be the first to admit if I'm wrong, and I've been doing this 13 years. Yes, I have. So anyway, I'm jumping off. I'm running a little too long on this, but check that out. I think it might help. And you got any questions? Shoot them. Any comments? Shoot them. You love me? Tell me. You hate me? Well, you could tell me, but I'm probably going to ignore it. It's all good. Life's too short for that negativity, too. Be cool. We'll see you in the next video. I appreciate you guys.